escaping the crumbling temple with the artifact clutch firmly in hand. Amina and Gabriel emerged into the harsh light of the sun, their lungs gasping for the fresh air after the dusty confines of their collapsing structure. They stood at the temple's threshold, watching in awe and disbelief as the ancient edifies a testament to a long-lost civilization, succumbed to its own power and disintegrated into a cloud of dust and rubble. The silence that followed was profound, broken only by the distant calls of birds and the rustling of the wind through the savannah grass. The weight of what they had just witnessed and the responsibility now resting to their shoulder hung heavily in the air between them. Gabriel turned to Amina, his eyes reflecting the turmoil of emotion within him. "We are the guardians now," he said. His voice is a mix of resolve and uncertainty. The artifact is not just a piece of history, it's a power that we have barely begun to understand. Amina nodded, feeling the artifact's surface, which had cooled to the touch. It seemed inert, a stark contrast to the pulsating force it had been within the temple. But where do we go from here? How do we protect it from those who would misuse it? They contemplated their next move, aware that the destruction of the temple would not go unnoticed. The artifact, though currently dormant, was a beacon that could attract forces both curious and malevolent. As they liberated the ground beneath them, they began to take softly. It was not the violent trembling of the temple's collapse, but a gentle, rhythmic pulsation, like the heartbeat of the earth itself. The artifact, responding to this pulse, began to glow faintly. Gabriel and Amina exchanged a look of surprise. The artifact was interacting with the natural energies of the earth, an alignment that suggested a deeper connection to the planet that they had realized. "We need to find a place where the artifact can be in harmony with those energies, a sanctuary where its powers can be contained safely," Gabriel suggested, his gaze scanning the horizon. Amina thought of the vast landscape of Africa, its diverse ecosystem and ancient lands. Somewhere secluded, away from prying eyes and those who seek its power of their own ends, she added. Their decision made, they began their journey. The artifact, safely stored in Gabriel's backpack, they traveled through the savannah, making their way towards a region known for its remote and unspoiled beauty. The journey was long and arduous, through landscapes that varied from dense forests to arid plains. Each night, under the canopy of stars, they discussed their plans, the history of the artifacts, and the civilization that had created it. The bond between them, forged in the crucible of their shared quest, deepened with each passing day. As they neared the destination, a secluded valley nestled within towering mountain, they felt a sense of peace. The valley, lush and teeming with life, was untouched by the modern world. A silence of ancient each where the time seems to stand still. They decided the artifact would be safe. They found a cave, hidden by dense foliage and accessible only by a narrow path, an ideal sanctuary for the artifacts. With great care, they placed the artifact inside the cave, setting it upon a natural pedestal of stone. As they did so, the artifact glowed briefly, a sign of recognition or perhaps approval. Amina and Gabriel stood at the entrance to the cave, looking out over the valley. They had found a sanctuary for the artifact, a place where its power could be in harmony with the natural world. But their journey was far from over. The responsibility of being the artifact's guardians was a lifelong commitment, and the world beyond the valley remained unaware of the power that now lay hidden within its heart. The future was uncertain, but they faced it together, united by a bond that had grown stronger with each challenges they had overcome. In the tranquil embrace of the secluded valley, Amina and Gabriel stood at the entrance of the cave, a sense of accomplishment mixed with an underlying current of apprehension flowing between them. The artifact, now resting in its new sanctuary, seemed at peace, its glow dimmed to a gentle pulsation like the beating heart of the earth. The decision to leave the artifact in this hidden place was not made lightly. They both understood the magnitude of what it represented, a power that, if harnessed responsible, could bring enlightenment, but if misused, could herald destruction. They were the guardians, a role that bound them not just to the artifact, but to a duty that stretched beyond their individual lives. As they prepared to leave the cave, Gabriel looked back at the artifact, a pack of reluctance visible in his expression. "Do you think we are doing the right thing?" he asked, his voice echoing silently in the cavernous space. Amina, who had been pondering the same question, replied, "We are doing the only thing we can. We are protecting it from those who don't understand its power. And maybe, when the world is ready, it can be a source of great knowledge and progress." Gabriel nodded, knowing she was right, yet the weight of that decision hung heavily on him. The artifact had been part of his family's legacy for generations, and now he had left it in a hidden cave, away from the world. They made their way out of the valley. The pristine beauty of the natural world around them is stark contrast to the hidden power they had just sealed away. The journey back to civilization was reflective, each step taking them further away from the ancient relic but closer to the reality of their everyday lives. Upon their return, they found the world much as they had left it, yet they were changed. The experience has transformed them, imbuing their life with a purpose that went beyond the ordinary. Amina returned to her art, her painting now infused with a depth that reflected her journey. The vibrant landscape and scenes of Nairobi life she created were more than just depiction of the world around her. They were expression of the profound connection she had felt with the art and its history. Gabriel, on the other hand, struggled with his role. He had fulfilled his duty as a guardian, but the absence of the artifact left a void in him. He spent his day researching his history of the artifact, documenting their journey, and ensuring that the knowledge they had gained was not lost. They arrived at the verge, yet the beyond between them remained strong. They met often, sharing their experience and insights, a mutual understanding and respect, forming the foundation of their relationship. Amina in her studio, painting a scene of the secluded valley, the hidden cave just visible among the lush foliage. Gabriel sits beside her, watching as the brush strokes bring the scenes to life. In that moment, they are connected not just by their shared past, but by a silent acknowledgement of the future. They had stepped back into the normal lives, but the journey they had undertaken continued to echo in their hearts, a reminder of the mysteries and the wonders that lay just beyond the veil of the everyday world. Months had passed since Amina and Gabriel had returned from their extraordinary journey, and the life in Nairobi resumed its usual rhythms. The bustling streets, crowded markets, and vibrant art scenes provided a stark contrast to the serene solitude of the secluded valley, where the artifact now lay hidden. For Amina, the experience had left an indelible mark on her soul. Her art, once a reflection of the world, she saw now carried undercurrent of the deeper truths she had encountered. Each brushstroke on the canvas was a dance of the memories and the emotion that had been etched into her being. Her studio was just a space for creation, had become a sanctuary where she could connect with the profound experience of her journey. Gabriel, however, found himself at a crossroads. The artifact, which had been a part of his family's legacy for generations, was now beyond his reach, its absence a constant reminder of the responsibility he had shouldered and fulfilled. He spent his days immersed in research, piecing together the history of the artifact and the ancient civilization it belonged to. His apartment was closed with books, papers, and artifacts of his own, remnant of a quest that continued to occupy his thoughts and dreams. Their bond, forged through shared danger and discovery, had evolved into a deep friendship, anchored in mutual respect and understanding. They met often, their conversations a blend of reminiscences of adventures and discussions about their current lives. Amina would talk about her latest art project, while Gabriel shared his latest findings on the artifact's history. One evening, as they sat in a cozy corner of a bustling Nairobi cave, Gabriel shared a revelation. "I've been thinking a lot about the artifact. and the civilization it came from. He began, his eyes reflecting a depth of introspection. What we did, hiding it away, it was necessary. But I keep wondering if there is more we can do, more we can learn from it without exposing it to the dangers we feared. Amina listening intently, her arctic mind intrigued by the responsibility. Maybe there is a way, she mused. Art has always been a medium to explore and express deeper truths. Perhaps through our work we can convey the lessons and knowledge we've gained. The idea took root, and in the weeks that followed, Amina and Gabriel embarked on a collaborative project. They would create an exhibition that combined art and history, an artistic narrative of their journey, and the artifact legacy. Amina's painting, infused with the emotional and spiritual journey she had experienced, were complemented by Gabriel's historical research and artifacts telling a story that was as educational as it was inspirational. As they worked on the exhibition, their respective talent blending seamlessly, they found a new purpose. They were not just preserving the legacy of the artifacts, they were sharing its wisdom in a way it was accessible and meaningful. Amina and Gabriel stood together, watching as the attendees moved through the gallery. Their expression is a mix of wonder, curiosity, and contemplation. They have succeeded in creating something that transcended their individual experience, a testament to their journey and the timeless truths they had uncovered. In that moment, they realized that their adventure had not ended in the secluded valley. It had merely transformed into a new chapter, one that they were written together. The exhibition, a harmonious fusion of Amina's art and Gabriel's history insight, had become a quiet sensation in Nairobi. The gallery, usually reserved for traditional display, was now a portal to a journey that spanned time and consciousness. The attendees, a diverse mix of art enthusiasts, historians, and the casually curious, were drawn into the narrative of the artifacts and lost civilization. Each of Amina's paintings was a table, capturing moments of their journey. The bustling Nairobi streets, the mysterious Tanzanian village, the depth of the ancient caravan, and the serene beauty of the secluded valley. Her use of colors and texture brought the scenes to life, invoking emotions that resonated with the viewers. Gabriel's part of the exhibition provided a scholarly backdrop to the artwork. Glass cases display replicas of the artifact and other relics, accompanied by detailed description of their historical and cultural significance. Panel adorned with its writing and research, finally illustrated the timeline of the ancient civilization, its rise, its achievements, and its eventual downfall. As the days passed, the exhibition became a gathering point for discussions and debates. Scholars pondered the implication of the civilization's advanced knowledge. Environmentalists saw parallels between the ancient society's downfall and modern-day challenges. Spiritual leaders discussed the philosophical aspects of the artifact's power. Amidst their whirlwind of activity, Amina and Gabriel found themselves at the center of a growing community of individuals interested in the intersection of history, arts, and spirituality. They held talk and guided tour, explaining the intricacy of their journey and the lessons they had gleaned. One evening, as the gallery was closing, they found themselves alone amidst the artwork and artifacts. The quiet after the day booze lent a reflective mood to their conversation. "We've started something remarkable here," Amina said, looking around at the paintings and displays. It's as if the journey continues, evolving in ways we've never anticipated. Gabriel nodded, his gaze lingering on a replica of the artifact. "We've given the artifact a new life, a new purpose. It's influencing people, making them think and question. That's more than I could have ever hoped for." Their conversation drifted to the future, to possibilities and plans. The success of the exhibition had opened up new opportunities. There were offers to take exhibitions to other cities, even other countries. The story of the artifacts had been the potential to inspire a wider audience, to spread the lessons of a civilization long gone but not forgotten. As the Nairobi night wrapped the city in its cool embrace, Amina and Gabriel walked side by side, the streets around them alive with the vibrant energy of the city. The success of their exhibition had not only brought the story of the artifact to the public eye, but had also deepened their understanding of its significance and their role as its guardians. In the month following the exhibition, opening they had witnessed its impact. People from diverse backgrounds were drawn to the narrative it presented, finding different meanings and lessons in the tapestry of art and history they have woven. The story of the artifact has translated its physical form to become a symbol of wisdom, caution, and hope. The offers to take the exhibition on a wider tour were tempting. It presented an opportunity to share their experience with a broader audience, to spread the lesson of the ancient civilization and the importance of understanding and preserving history. Yet, both Amina and Gabriel felt a pull to return to the valley where the artifact lay hidden. Their decision to revisit the valley was driven by a sense of duty and a need for closure. They needed to ensure the artifact remained undisturbed and secure. They sought a personal reconnection with the place that they marked the culmination of their journey. Arriving at the valley after days of travel, they found it unchanged, and if time itself revived the sanctity of the place, the lush scenery, the clear stream, and the serene atmosphere were a balm of their soul. They trekked to the cave, finding the artifact still resting on the stone pedestal, its presence more profound than ever. As they stood before it, a sense of peace enveloped them. The journey that had started with uncertainty and danger had brought them to a place of understanding and purpose. They were no longer just the guardians of a relic, they were the keepers of a legacy that bridged the past and the future. Their return to Nairobi marked the beginning of a new chapter. They organized a series of talks and workshops based on their experience, sharing their insights, and engaging with communities with discussion about heritage, culture, and the lesson that can be learned from history. The final scene of the story finds Amina and Gabriel back in a studio, surrounded by her painting and research. They are planning their next step, discussing ideas for a book and a documentary to research even more people. Their journey had taught them that every story, every piece of history has the power to inspire, educate, and change perspective. As they talk, the city outside continues its endless dance, a reminder of the world's perpetual motion. But inside the studio, there is a sense of timeless connection to each other, to the artifact, and to the countless stories that weave the tapestry of human history. Amina and Gabriel look out of the studio window, their reflection mingling with the city light. They had embarked on a journey that had changed them in ways they could never have imagined. A journey that started with a chance encounter and had grown into a lifelong quest. They were bound by a shared past and a common purpose, guardians not just of an ancient artifact, but of the wisdom it represented, a wisdom that was now their gift to the world. Well guys, that will be all about this video. Don't forget to leave a comment. Let me know what you think about the story. Thank you. Bye.